Alright, so what's going on, people? Today's video is going to be my 5 tips on how to gain weight. Now, I've always been a hard gainer myself, so I know I always like to go through that process of force feeding almost and eating as much as you can just to try and gain weight, even if it be a pound at a time. But so I'm going to take my knowledge of what I've learned over the past 3 years and give you the best tips that I can possibly think of that have helped me gain weight and put on almost 20 kilos since I've started. So yeah, start from number 1, which is use oils. Now these are the typical types of oils I like to use, so olive oil, more hot, the garlic, whatever type of dish you're cooking. But there's other types as well, like coconut, which is also very healthy. And fat is the most calorie dense nutrient that you can get, so it's 9 calories per gram, whereas others like protein and carbs are 4. So really, you can't be afraid of fats if you want to gain weight. Now I suggest using Splash every time you cook a meal before, instead of using like these sprays, which is 1 calorie per spray. I used to use these all the time, but it's just a waste of calories. You can chuck a couple of teaspoonfuls of this in, which is almost, I don't know, that's like 100 calories compared to what, 6? If you have 6 sprays, so it's a no-brainer really. And now, like I said, you can't be afraid of them though, because they are your friend when you're trying to gain weight, especially as a hard gainer. So yeah, definitely use them with each dish you cook. Alright, so my second tip would be eat as soon as you wake up and do not fast. Now, as you've seen in my previous day in life, I've had breakfast as soon as I've woken up, gone straight downstairs and started my day of eating. This is because the earlier you eat, the more time throughout the day you've got to fit more meals in and fit more macros in. So it definitely gives you an advantage if you was fasting to like 12, then you're cutting your time down a lot. So it's not really beneficial if you're trying to gain weight. So also, your body has been starving almost for like 8 hours or however long you've been sleeping for. So you need to get nutrients into your body as soon as possible and hydrate it. This is why I've gone into a habit of routine doing. And as soon as you get into a routine of it, so as long as you get into a habit of getting up, eating, getting your specific nutrients in, it'll just become normal, and it won't be like a chore anymore. Which is a big point with all these tips I'm going to do for you today, is once you start getting into it and once you start eating more, your belly's just going to get bigger and grow, and you're going to feel like hungry all the time almost, and you'll be able to put the meals away more easily. So yeah. My third tip would be don't use mass gainers and try to avoid them. Now, I fell into that trap a little bit. Now, I didn't go out and buy any online, which I'm probably sure a lot of you have, but I wouldn't fall into a trap of becoming reliant on a mass gainer, because it's essentially protein filled with crap carbs, which your body is going to find hard to digest. So definitely stay away from mass gainers, because I don't think they're very good for you. I know you think, oh, there's so many calories in this, it's so much easier or whatever, but essentially it's crap. What I would suggest is using actual protein or supplement protein you buy, and using real foods to mix in shakes with. So you've seen me do very high calorie dense shakes before, where I've used like 500 milliliters, 300 to 500 milliliters of milk, mixed berries, peanut butter, oats, and then protein, which is like all up put together is like about 800 calories, which is more than enough for a shake, and probably more than you're gonna get in a mass gainer. So I would 100% suggest using them over mass gainers. Alright, so my last point is going to be including variety in your meals. Now, the way I've got through to the point now where I'm going to be eating 4,000 calories from Monday is just through trying different types of food, experimenting, and utilising the food that I like and putting them in with the meals that I'm eating from day to day. So like I said previously, mindful diabetes, these meals I cook are tasty to me and I enjoy eating them, so it's a lot easier. But you can't rely on that, like I said. I 100% agree and don't condemn using any sauces of any kind. Like you've seen me use Banda Peronaise, that's a lot of calories in that. I lump our on. You've seen me use a sriracha sauce, that's got loads of calories, I lump our on. They just make your food nicer, and if you're bulking you don't really need to take anything out, and they're not bad for you, it's just going to help you get done your meals easier. So yeah, definitely include meals and foods that you enjoy. Also, that you've seen me use plenty of times before is packet rice. Again, easy, 2 minutes in the microwave, and it's 250 grams of rice and like 70 grams of carbs, 80 grams of carbs. This is right there within 2 minutes, cooked, ready for you. So if you're taking long time to cook and you're prepping like all night and all day, it's gonna become like a chore and you're not gonna enjoy it that much, and it's gonna be like a chore eating it, it's gonna be like a chore cooking it. You'll probably just slack off and get demotivated. So definitely try to find easier ways to cook your meals, which will keep you on the ball and again help you look forward to them. Now my final point today is going to be just eat. I know that seems a bit vague, but essentially what a lot of people don't realise is you're not gaining because you're not eating enough, and if you're not eating enough and you're not gonna, you will not gain. It's as simple as that. So the moral of the story is you just got to eat more and push yourself and get to the point where you may be force feeding yourself with meals to the point you feel sick, but as soon as you're done with that, essentially the battle's over again. Now, when I started this, I didn't expect, I thought that the gym was the hard part, but now I've lately been realising that it's like a full-time job eating the amount of food that I've got to eat anyway. I mean, 4,000 calories is a lot of food. I mean, you see some pro bodybuilders eating that much food, but it's just because of my metabolism and the way I'm programmed. Is practically is blessing, but at the same time is also really hard. A lot of you are probably similar to me, the hard gainers they call them, but you just gotta get it done. You gotta eat more. Like when I said I started at around 60k, weren't really tracking it, and then going to the Google with things, you know, up to 3k, 3.5k, 4k. It's just a slow process, getting increasing all the time. But like I said, the more you get used to eating these meals, they'll become like a routine and it'll become easier, and your body will almost expand. Like you'll grow, so will your belly. So you'll get used to eating those meals, and you become more hungry and you'll be craving those meals. So it's all a process. But when on those days you don't feel like doing it, on those days where you have the not favourable meals, I mean, you're not always going to eat meals you love, let's be honest. Another thing is, you can't always eat to enjoy. You got to eat for purpose at the same time. I mean, you're eating because you want to grow. You can't be eating all the time because you fancy food and you're hungry and you want something you enjoy. Do you know what I mean? Like the other day I had 250 grams of smoked haddock and 250 grams of rice, just plain, and it took me about half hour just to eat one meal, and usually it takes me 2 seconds. But it's because it was a long process, I really enjoying it. I just at the same time stuffing it down myself. You just gotta be done, do you know what I mean? I knew then as soon as I was done I had a nice meal after it, so I was just get it done in there. So there's plenty of eating motivation. I know you might think, oh, I need motivation to go to the gym, but honestly you do need a lot of motivation to eat those meals as well, to get your meals done in a day and to be disciplined with yourself to eat them. But it is a unknown battle really. Those are my 5 pointers on how to gain weight for hard gainers. Now I like to think I'm very experienced in this field, so I like to think they're very good pointers, and I hope they help you a lot. If you've got any questions, you know, I said before, drop it into the comment section or give me a DM on Instagram, that's also in the description. Don't be afraid, I will respond. So yeah, thanks for love, thanks for support like always, and remember, keep whacking.